Welcome to our channel Contemporary Literary Review India. In today's interview, I am with the author Dr. Jernail Singh Anand. Dr. Jernail Singh Anand hails from Longowal, Punjab. He has served as a professor of English for 35 years and retired as a principal of a degree college. Thereafter, he was director of another degree college, and now he is a Professor Emeritus at the European Institute of the Roma Studies and Research, Belgrade. Apart from this, he is the chairman of Azad Foundation, World Literature India, and chairman of the board of directors, World Institute of Peace, Nigeria. He was also Secretary General of World Union of Poets, Italy. At present, he is Senior Vice President, International Forum for Existential Spirituality as well. Dr. Jernail Singh has authored more than 150 books until now. Several of his books have been translated into different languages of the world. Before I move ahead, please subscribe to our channel. Hello, Dr. Jernail
Yes,
Singh. Uh, hello, welcome to our channel. I hope that you are good and healthy.
yeah. Thank you so much. I really feel privileged to be interviewed by Contemporary Review. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's great. So please, would you like to introduce yourself to our audience?
Dr. Khurshid, I'm Dr. Jernail Singh Anand. I have done my PhD in English Literature from Punjab University, Chandigarh, and presently I'm uh, having an honorary position with the European Institute of Roma Studies, Belgrade, as Professor Emeritus.
Okay,
So
okay,
during these years, so far as the creation of literature is concerned, I have authored 140 books.
okay,
They are poetry, fiction, non-fiction, spirituality, philosophy, all types of work, and even politics, and then critical theory. So I have been working on all these things. Actually, I have been a lecturer in English department for around more than 30 years. Then I became principal. I remained principal of a college.
mm-hmm.
Then I became director of another college. So at 65, I retired. Now I
Okay,
am whole
okay,
time in creation of literature.
okay. So yes, that's nice to hear about you. So how many books have you got published until now?
That's how it is 140.
Oh, that's
More books
great.
are in the
Big
pipeline.
number. So which types of books have you written in general, like poetry anthology or stories or literary criticism or what?
My field has been basically I am a poet. I have written in English. I have written in my mother tongue Punjabi. 7 books I have written in Punjabi, and I write in Hindi also occasionally. That is
Mm.
an occasional job, but basically I am a poet. But along with that, I have been writing prose also. My
Okay,
prose
okay,
books have been very, received, very well received by the audience, particularly my book of spirituality. Its title was Bliss, the Ultimate Magic. This
okay.
book was actually translated into Persian
Mm-hmm.
by you can see this book. It is
Okay, that's great. That's great.
Persian translation of my book Bliss, and another book was that too was translated into Persian. It was I Belong to You. That is also spiritual book.
Mm. Mm.
And recently, my novel, The Broken Narrative, has been translated into Persian.
Okay.
These
Okay.
three books have been translated into Persian. Moreover, Dr. Khurshid, um, so another, there are two, scholars from Iran who have taken great interest in my work.
Okay. Okay. That's great.
Is, Professor Nargis Mohammadi. She is from Mashhad University. She was a translator and she translated two books. Then there is
Okay.
another professor. She is Dr. Ruhaya Farsi. She is from Nishapur University. She has written
Hmm.
around 20 articles on my different books.
Oh,
And
that's great.
now she has undertaken a research project. It is
Okay.
sponsored by the UNESCO
Okay.
on my
Okay.
poetry. So that is going on.
Hmm. So, see, as you mentioned about that, people from other countries are also reading your books and they are, in fact, working on your canon, in fact, you can say. So, the thing is that you might have touched upon or might have highlighted universal themes or subjects. Is it?
Yeah, you were just asking me this question. Uh, my basic themes with regard to poetry are, human predicament, what we call postmodern conditions, in which we find man broken and family system which is breaking. So all these things are love relationships, marriage, nature particularly. Nature is a big theme with my poetry.
Okay. Okay.
Then see cosmic forces, cosmic love, brotherhood, all these things have appealed to the people from outside, and they have joined me in creating books. I have around 25 or 30 books which we have produced in in unison with
Okay.
poets from outside like
Okay.
Poland, Italy, Greece, uh, Egypt, so many places.
Okay. Okay. That's a big achievement, in fact. So obviously you have been busy in literary contribution for quite a long time. So you might have received some awards or prizes and recognition. So would you share some information about that?
Uh, I was Secretary General of World Union of Poets Italy, and I was conferred the award of Cross of Peace, Cross of Literature, and there is a Art for Life Foundation based in Beverly Hills, USA. They gave me Lifetime Achievement Award. So, moreover, I got a World Icon of Peace Award from World Institute of Peace, Nigeria.
Oh,
And there are so many others which I don't remember. They are lying, it's all right. So there are, number of them.
right, right, true. It should be, yes, yes. That is why I said that. Okay, you have been busy for quite a long time, so obviously you may be receiving accolades, awards, prizes, and everything. Okay,
Yeah,
so
thank you.
what subjects generally you give high priority, particularly when you are writing poems?
Mm, it is the existential phenomena that I study mostly. How
Okay,
things are, why they are, right? How they impact our thought, how they impact our relationships. These are my, basic issues when I am
okay,
writing poetry.
okay. And if you have different subjects for stories and fiction, so what are your topics in fiction?
In fiction, I have come up with a book of short stories. Then there are three or four novels.
Mm.
And in most of the cases, in my fiction, short fiction, we can say short stories, there are so many themes like family dislocation, then economic stress, how it breaks the people. Then there are how people are, the latest developments in education, how they are
mm,
affecting the
mm.
faculty members and people. So all these things come up in, and then dowry also it comes
Okay,
up.
okay,
Dowry
okay.
killings also did form the
Mm.
part.
Okay.
So
So if
basically, it is about human life. It is about how we live. Particularly because I believe that a man, to be good, to be honest, to be useful, to be nice and better, he must retain his balance. If he is not in balance, he will lose. He will not be able to do good to society. So
mm,
how his balance is disturbed, how his balance is disturbed. This is the theme of my latest work, Lusts also.
okay,
You
okay,
know,
okay.
we will talk about it. Here is the book, Lustrous. You can see
Okay.
this.
Mm.
This is my latest epic, mega epic it is called. And you see, Lustrous is a fictional creation. And he is a cousin of Satan. Satan was a very, a very sophisticated villain. He was afraid of doing evil. He was doing evil, but he was afraid of God. But Lustus is a very down to earth, corporate evil monger. So he wants to disturb the balance of humanity. Now, you see, there are no fights in nature, even in animals. There are no fights as we see in human beings because those things are have retained their equipoise, their balance. But humanity has lost it. There are so many reasons, and one reason is that Lustus wants, Lustus wants that people should not be in balance. Only then they will be in my grip, because only then they will do things which I want.
Mm.
So, basic thing is how to, that is rationing of sex. You know, if we see animals, no animal dies of sex starvation. Even vegetation, this is also, it is a, all the flowering takes place because of some sexual activity. There is no problem. So, nature is at peace. Animals are at peace. Birds are at peace. There is no problem. But because in the world, this has been rationed. Either it is not available, either it is too much available as in the best. So both the cases, our balance has been disturbed. So this is one major issue why this man is very dangerous. Then he wants to disturb the balance of nature also.
Mm.
He has developed a homovid vaccine which will be given to the animals. Suppose it is given to a buffalo, she will become humanized. She will demand more fodder. She will demand to be free. She will try to hoard her milk for some time. She will not give it everything. So this way, even birds, there is a conference of bird with birds, and birds say, "Why we are being put on the trees? We want to stay on the earth. Give us plots." So, so this way, it has been satirized. So people, there are authors like Dr. Maya Herman Sekulic from Serbia. She says this is a contemporary epic which satirizes the contemporary reality, and she thinks that it brings the author close to Daniel Defoe as a satirist.
Mm.
That is a critic's delight, I would like to say. Critic's delight. So many critics have written on it, and they are still writing. And
Mm.
that's why I'm glad to share with you that this book was at the London Book Festival, and among the 10 top books from poetry, it was given honorable mention. Honorable mention.
Mm.
So this is the seventh epic which I have written. Prior to this, I would like to just share with you. These are the seven epics. This is the Master, then this is Mahabharata, the Mahabharat, the War of Words. This is the Plague, the Metaphor is Dead. This is the Satanic Empire, which discusses Dante. Then this is the Canterbury Tales. It brings up Chaucer. This is Geet. It brings up Milton. So I have worked on these. This was the latest which I was discussing. Yes, please.
These are bigger topics, in fact, that you are showing to me, because this Geet and all, Miss Milton. Oh my God! So you might have read too much. Okay.
Yeah, I read this Paradise Lost, and it has never left me since then because I wrote Geet, and then this Lust is also a cousin of, you know, it is a work of new mythology. I have, changed mythology a little bit to suit my purposes.
Mm.
Moreover, this has been this book which I was just talking to you. Lustus has been conceived as a web series. In the beginning, there is a notice, as we say, disclaimer. This is a work of fiction, and if there are any, I mean, it is only
Mm.
entertainment for viewers. The actors and situations are imaginary. If there is any resemblance to any person or situation, it is very coincidental. So then it is also written that no birds were harmed when this film was made. So I have mentioned it is a satire also. They harm human beings, but they take care of birds. No birds, no animals, or even plants were harmed while this epic drama film was shot. So, and you see this on a web series. When we start a web series, up on the top left, it is written rated 18, rated 19, and then it is written here. It is written thriller. This book is a thriller, violence, sex, war, new mythology. So this is how. Then its characters name. What I have sent is starring. It stars Lusters. It stars God. It stars Brahma, Vishnu, Indra, Durga. Then there is Amazonia, Grada, Satan. They are stars of this book. So I have just
Okay. Okay. That's great. So, okay. Now, my next question is about dowry. You have mentioned that you have discussed, or you have raised this topic in one of the books. So, what do you think that what is the main reason behind dowry, and if there is any solution to that?
you can see this title, The Disturbing Factor. This is a novel.
Hmm.
And, this is about marriage and relationships. So, dowry is a very small question. The real question behind it is why dowry? Right? Now, I would again take you to Lustus. In Lustus, you will find its answers. Lustus says, actually, Adam and Eve, they loved each other. They loved each other. And that was their strength. And Lustus and Satan and devils wanted that people should stop loving each other. Right? So, how they can stop loving each other? The only thing is, they say, Lustus says that we should introduce the idea of marriage. And in a marriage, there is no question of love. People find out through matrimonials people whom they don't know. right? And then dowry becomes a deciding factor in marriage. Now, this is what Lustus wants, because he wants that unequal people of unequal temperaments should join together, so that when they come into union and they produce children, they are bastards. Now, see this. Uh, we believe that a, a child born out of the marriage is a bastard, right? But Lustus wants bastardization of the whole human race, so that nobody is, there is no idea of love. There is, because people who love, you don't need any marriage, you don't need any fire, you don't need any mantras to keep them together. They will stay together. But if there is no love, then you need fire, then you need mantras to put them together so that they don't run away from each other. Now, what is marriage? It is a forced union. It is a forced union. It is an unnatural union. And from this dowry, now, mm, I actually don't agree to this, arrangement. This is it is a conspired marriage. I will say it is a sort of a conspiracy against, human, what God's will, what divine will is that people who love, people who are made for each other, they should get together. And if they get together, naturally their offspring will be great. But Lustus wants that people should be less than average. So how that is possible? Let them marry. Find out from each other. They should not know each other. They should not love each other. That is the basic point. So this is how the world goes on.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, so why do you think that literature should be given high importance by the people?
That's all. There are two parallel movements. One is the movement of history, how things are actually happening. And then there is another movement, that is literature, which comments on these movements and says how it should have been, how it should have been. So that is why, in literature, when we read poetry, when we read stories, when we read novels, our perspectives become wider, our horizon becomes wider. Moreover, it is literature which deals with the mind of man. What we are teaching to our students now is no need of this mind. We are training them in doing this work, in doing that work. Work. Yeah, it is a, work conscious. We are all work conscious, 24 into 7, all the time at work, right? So you have no time. You have not even what I have been, teaching in some private colleges. I was surprised in the library. They will not buy even a single book which is general, right? General importance. No, they will buy books which are, recommended by the university, which are related to the syllabus. So this is a very negative development. Recently, I was looking at a very great, very big university, C.B. Raman University at Bhubaneswar, and I was just trying that I should send lusters to their library so that people from arts stream or humanities stream, they should be able to just get into it. So when I saw their courses, also you will be surprised. There is everything on earth, no arts, no humanities. What does it mean? It means we don't believe in humanities. And this is a very dangerous development, sir. Very dangerous development.
True,
We have
true.
to turn the tide. Otherwise, we are going to destroy ourselves. And this is what this man wants. This is what Lustus wants. We are going his way.
Mhm. True, true. Okay, so which writer's influence do you think is more on your writing?
Okay, I have been reading some when I was young. I started reading literature in ninth standard when I was in ninth standard in school. So I think ninth standard is the ideal, time for any student to start learning properly. And it was Punjabi writers, and then some. Yeah, I read Gorky also, Russian literature also. I read Lala Hardyar also. Lala Hardyar, his book Hints for Self Culture. That was very important, and it influenced me a lot. Then after that, when I was doing my PhD, I did it on Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman actually impacted me. His spirituality, his thought, his philosophy, and there was another writer from Punjab, Professor Puran Singh. I compared them. Their philosophical and mystical streams, their elements. So these people have come together to in articulating my thought. That's all.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, what is the philosophy all about? You talk and write more often. Because see, as you are an accomplished writer and philosopher, so you may be having obviously so much thing to offer to the world. But at the same time, there may be something primary in your mind that you should share to the world.
One thing is that I believe that man has been has failed. Man has failed in processing his knowledge. You know, when there is an light from our front, sudden light, we are passing through darkness. There is a sudden light. It blinds us. It blinds our vision. So this is what is happening. Too much of knowledge. There is an explosion of knowledge. And in this latest my book, Pluses, it starts with Sita's abduction by Ravana. Ravan comes, he abducts her. But there is a comment after this that Ravan was the wisest man, he had 10 heads. Even then he commits folly. It means that he was unable to process his wisdom, right? Just today, I have written a poem in which it is in Punjabi. Would you relish Punjabi poetry?
I can understand language, just simple language in Punjabi, but not poem. I'm not sure. But still, you can recite a few lines.
Okay, just I will try because that will give you an idea what you are asking.
Mm-hmm.
You see, ਇੱਟਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀੜਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਭੌਣ ਨੇ ईंटें होती है ना उनमें कीड़े लग जाते हैं ईंटों के बीच में कीड़े फिर रहे होते हैं इंसेक्ट्स राइट ਇੱਟਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀੜਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਭੌਣ ਨੇ ਦੇਖੋ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਬੰਦਿਆਂ ਵਰਗੇ ਕੌਣ ਨੇ आदमियों जैसे लगते हैं अब यू कैन इमेजिन ए 23-story building and men walking there. This is the image. So इसमें one I will just recite one line from here or that is ਇੱਥੇ ਤਾਂ ਸਭ ਮੇਰੇ ਵਰਗੇ ਹੋ ਗਏ all the people are like me ਹੋਰ ਕਿਤੇ ਚਲਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਰੌਣ ਨੇ so Ravan thought let me go to somewhere else here everybody is like me we burn Ravan but do you think we have been able to burn him because we should actually burn lusts
mm, mm,
Luster is in everybody.
mm,
He needs to be burnt.
mm.
Ravan was a great scholar. He just did one bad thing. So you were asking me, this is what I think about this, that we have been unable to process our knowledge,
Mm,
and this knowledge has actually reduced us to
mm.
puppets. Artificial intelligence has been on the rise, whereas natural intelligence is on the decrease.
Okay, 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 okay.
So,
Right.
so if we don't check ourselves, we will actually eliminate human race the way we are going.
Mm,
So
true.
this book also tries to check our speed,
Mm,
which is against ourselves, against humanity. And we should learn a lot from nature.
mm,
We say, what is there to learn? I have just told you one more thing which nature has in abundance and we don't have is one I told you, that is nature has its own balance, which we people have disturbed. Another thing is, Dr. Sir, this is very important, that nature, every object of nature has its dignity. Now tell me, how many people among us humans, they are living with dignity? Tell me. Nature has dignity, animals have dignity.
mm,
If there is a dog, he lives with dignity. If there is a birds are flying, they are living with dignity. But why human beings are losing dignity? There is a reason which I want people, my friends, everybody, readers, to explore these ideas. Everything has a dignity only when it is doing its job honestly, for which it has been created. In the universe, if there is a tree, it has a function, right? If there is a bird, it has a function. Then, if there is an animal, it has a function, right? And we are as human beings also, we have functions, right? But if we talk of malfunctioning, it is only peculiar to human beings. Nature does not believe in malfunctioning. Animals don't believe in malfunctioning. Birds don't believe in malfunctioning. So that is why they are living with dignity, whereas we have lost it because
mm.
we people are tampering with natural processes.
True,
Natural processes.
true. Okay, okay. So, I believe that you mentioned somewhere like some translation work is going on, or there is some possibility like your works will be translated. So, which books are being translated currently?
Okay. Uh, it is not exactly what I was talking, because I have already told you that three of my books were translated. This is my novel,
Okay.
The Broken Net, which was again translated. But the thing is that we have done this. You see, this is a work by me and Hana Shishni. She is a Lebanon poet, Lebanese poet. She has translated my work into Arabic, right? Then this is Hot Wave. This was a Punjabi novel which I translated, sponsored by Punjabi University Patiala. Then uh, you can see this is Indo-Jordan poetic confluence. A Jordan poet, Dr. Nizar Sartawi, translated my poetry into Jordan language, Arabic. Then here is another book, The Tempted Species. Dr. Albert Blash Nicola, he translated it into Romanian. He's a Romanian. Then this is a Tunisian poet. She has translated into French. This is my poetry into French. This work is by two poets, myself and Dr. Maya Herman. She's a Serbian poet and world icon, and she has two times Fulbright scholar from USA. She's my friend. You can see her photograph also. And we work together. This book contains two poems. One is her, the mighty Irene, and my book is The Survivor of a Thousand Shipwrecks. It is a sort of personal. Then here again, there is, you will see translation. This is by Dr. Roth. He is from Poland. He translated my works into French. This is again poetic encomium. In this is Indo-New Zealand poetry. New Zealand poet is with me. He is Dr. Leslie Bush. This we have already. This is an Indian poet with me. Sorry, Dr. Rahim Karim. He is a Kyrgyzstan poet. We have done poetry together. You see this voices from eternity. Here we have poetry with Dr. George Onsi. He's an Egyptian writer. He's a great writer. Then this was the book Masters of Creative Impulse. I just gathered poetry from seven Indian great poets. One of them is Dr. Madan Gandhi and Dr. Pedapudi Rama Rao. He is a very great poet from Hyderabad. This was my poetry with Dr. Mitui, the jungle poet from Nigeria, Indian and Nigerian poetry. And I'm really proud of this. This is metaphysics, a mirror to mysticism. This book is by Hela Takali. She's a Tunisian poet, and what she has done is she has compared three poets. One is John Donne, the other is Rumi, Jalaluddin Rumi, and third is myself. This is again Eternal Showers. Here we have four poets. They are all Tunisians with my poetry. This is the Indifferent Fate, my poetry translated into German by Margetta. This is Margetta. Here it is. Here is a poem, my poetry translated into Italian by Maria Miraglia. So there are so many works which I have done with Indian poets also.
Okay, so your writing has been translated to so many languages. I believe that more than dozens of languages.
Yeah, more than dozen, yes.
So obviously, I would recommend that you should very soon receive Sahitya Akademi Award. We should begin with this, and then should be nominated for Jnanpith Award as well very soon.
Thank you so much. आप ये कहते हैं ना, आपने कह दिया, हमने पा लिया.
No, because see, your contribution is too much. Okay, so you have already created a canon, not only writing. So writing is something different that you can means anyone can write anything. I also write, or so many people are writing, but you have created a canon. Okay, that means you have created a body of literature. That is the thing.
Yeah.
So if people of this stature actually should be getting immediately Sahitya Akademi Award, because this is the beginning, and then obviously should be nominated to Jnanpith Award. So
again, God's will.
Okay. So finally, what is your message for humanity in general?
I wish that humanity should move towards divinity. We should not slide down to barbarity because of our excess of knowledge. We should be able to, process it properly, use it for the good of people, learning from nature, believing in God, believing in our religions, and we should keep away from, the religious divide that is dividing us, that is, creating hatred among the people. We should, if we are wise and if we are properly, awakened, we will not fall into this trap. So this is what I wish, that world should be livable for our future generations.
True, true. Thank you for your this kind view. And now we are coming closer to our interview. So thanks a lot to share your views, valuable views. I'm very much pleased for having this discussion this evening. Thank
Thank you,
you very
Dr.
much.
Alam. So nice of you. Thank you once again very much to you and your viewers. Thank you once again.